Hello and welcome to the Of Dice and Destiny Fireside chat. For those that are watching, I apologise for the technical issues that we've had so far this morning. This evening even. Wow. I really haven't slept, have I?
No.
It's just one of those days.
Yep, it really is one of those days. And I'm going to have to ask Jude if you can temporarily mute your microphone.
Mhm.
Thank you. That way I don't hear my horrible echo. So yes, sorry for the technical issues, but we are here and we are live with three of our wonderful players around the table. So on this session we have tonight Gillian.
Hello.
We have Wesley.
Hello.
And we have a Jude.
Good evening.
Indeed, good evening it is. Before we crack on though, I do have one slight disappointment announcement to make. I do apologise to all of our fans that are out there. Next week's D&D session, which would be the Of Dice and Destiny campaign, is actually being delayed by a week. That is purely because one of the team here, myself, stupidly came off the bicycle and done my shoulder in. So I've got to go to the hospital for a late afternoon appointment with consultants to get that seen. So it's going to be a very long evening next week without us. I'm sure that some of you will be very, very disappointed to hear that. However, as I've always said to the cast and crew here, their health, their family, and their lives come first. So it's only right that it applies to me as well in this case, as I'm sure the rest of the crew will agree.
Yep.
Right, well, without any further ado...
Absolutely.
Yes. Without any further ado, let's get into this fireside chat that we're asking questions of our players. And I think what we'll do is we'll have a light, fast, welcoming round of questions to begin with. First of all, let's go with... Let's do a quick round robin here, shall we, actually? The latest episode, Carnival Chaos, in 3 words. How would you describe it? Let's start with Killian.
Oh, fun. Confusing. Entertaining. And I'm going to use 2 words for this one. What the fuck? So,
That's 3.
That's 3.
Excellent. Wesley, 3 words. How would you describe Carnival Chaos? The latest episode.
Quite a bit of revelation.
Yeah, that's a bit more than 3 words, but we'll go with that. And Jude, how would you describe it?
Fun, chaotic, and interesting.
Ooh. So with that, let's start with Wesley here on this one. Let's go with what was the best moment that shouldn't have worked but did?
The charm person.
Jude?
Spell I used.
Yeah, the charm person, without doubt. I was fully expecting we would go into a fight. Then the fact Well, the charm person worked allegedly, but then he turns around at the end and says, "Oh no, I was just playing along." So, yeah, that.
Killian?
The moment where we left with the carriage, 4 members in the back and 2 in the front driving the carriage, very expecting us to get jumped by the carnival.
Fair enough. So what was the funniest thing then, going around the table once again very quickly, what was the funniest thing that happened at the table that the audience might not have noticed? Let's start with Jude.
Chris, I spoke to a horse. Absolutely, the fact that Chris was they were so surprised they could actually speak to animals.
Yep, that was an interesting one. Killian.
The entirety of the aftermath of the bar, I am pain.
Brilliant. And Wesley?
Yeah, definitely the one moment with I'm talking to a horse.
Fair enough. It is a pity we couldn't get Tom on today, but unfortunately he was occupied. Otherwise, I'd definitely be asking him how he feels about his druid self coming through. But with that, Chaos Awards. Light, mixed, and punchy. Let's go with what throughout the course of the game. Let's start with Killian. What through the game would you say was the most unhinged decision, and why?
Unhinged decision. Probably the. Honestly, the charm person might have been the most unhinged decision.
Yep, fair enough. I can see that as quite a clutch move, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, especially by the fact of elves and half elves have advantage on those saving throws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So happy that it paid off. That was such a good move by Wesley to do.
Fair enough. So we actually do have members in the audience watching along. If there are any questions that you wish to ask of our guests tonight from the show, feel free to post those questions in, and we will get round to them towards a little bit later. So with that, Wesley, best accidental comedy throughout the night. Who would you give this mini award to?
I think to Killian.
And why?
I think it was one of I'm not sure about the specific moment, but I think it was where he was talking to
Fair enough. I think we'll
look it in.
we'll leave it there for now. So with the quick fire round done, hopefully that's loosened you all up a little bit with some unexpected stuff. Let's get on to the more serious questions now regarding the episode, the incident, and your characters. So what we'll do is, I think we'll start with Jude, actually. With your character, Jess, What was your character's plan the moment things kicked off at the carnival?
Try and get out of it somehow, anyhow. And luckily, I think Steve, casting Charm Person, helped a lot to get out of that moment. She did not want to perform at all. She wanted to get the job done, get the heck out of there.
So, what made you check your battery on your Bluetooth speaker?
Well, she had to perform, and she'd made a big deal out of the whole noise box thing, and the like music coming from this tiny box, and obviously Jess she's very reliant on kind of technology from back home. So it would be the first thing to do if I need to check the battery level on this. And where we've been so busy, I don't think Jess has really had time to get the solar charger out, charge the box. And it suddenly occurred to her, oh, I really need to check this. And she'd used it a couple of times already for demonstrations. And the batteries obviously was flat. So she was like, oh, great, I need to get out of this now.
So, Killian, in regards to your character and the plan, the same question, I think. So, what was your character's plan the moment things kicked off?
The moment it kicked off was, right, we're doing this. Okay, exits, everything check, weapon check, and me and the character were more expecting an altercation to happen for this just to not work. And
So,
it was very
yeah, so compared to Jess, your character is a lot more calculated versus the chaos that Jess's character can often bring. Is it, as when you're playing Osiris in character, is that naturally his disposition and personality, like cool, calm, and calculated, or is there another layer to it?
There's a bit of another layer to it, and it very much has to do with a lot more of his own background. Because under certain circumstances, for what he did before, you have to be very calm and calculated.
Yeah.
Or else a mistake will happen. And especially in this scenario, we're on a job. Something is going to horribly go wrong. How do I get everyone out with me? It's kind of a mixture of yes, both, but a lot more self-preservation.
Especially with a strange group of people, I can imagine. Even more so.
Fucking jukebox. This poor boy. Poor boy.
You'll be subjected to that soon enough, I'm sure. Right, Jess?
Probably at some point in time. Yeah, I think Jess has got to learn to live in this new world without the creature comforts she's used to. Which is going to take, I think it's going to take a while for her to be able to let go of those kind of things that she's used to and that she loves.
Fair enough. And Steve, compared to the others, your character was thinking a lot more tactically throughout the course of the Carnival Chaos episode. What was your character's plan when things kicked off? And did it go according to plan, in your opinion?
Well, Steve's initial plan was I'm going to cause a distraction, so that way we can slip in, take control of the wagon and just somehow tried to take off, but through the others and their plan, we decided to, this is our moment. We're going to seize it and see how it goes.
And when it all kicked off, I'm imagining that the behavior of the charm person effects on Varshoven, who you were there to capture and bring in alive. I imagine that how did your character feel when that went off and succeeded, if you can call it that?
Yeah. Well, Steve definitely was like, "Guys, I did it! I saved the day."
So my next question to all of you is, why do you think Varshoven, who actually did succeed against his save, allowed himself to appear to be charmed?
Double agent for the Azure Watch. He was willing to go. And then when he went there, he was on familiar terms with Brackathorn, and he'd already mentioned Lady Selene as well. I think he's up to something.
Mm. Mm. Hmm. I think it's more because something he said before is he doesn't want anyone from the county to get injured. Which, if a fight were to happen, someone might get injured, especially if reports from if they've heard from an incident with Thunderwave would cause some damage. So I think it's a lot more with he wanted to protect people there.
So
the other one is really good though.
So Osiris is actually buying or believing the recounting of the event that Killian gave in that regard.
Mm.
Fair enough. Steve?
I do think it's Steve doesn't really, believe his, like, he's not sure what to think. But me personally, I think it's something bigger, and like this is just all a distraction or a plot for something bigger.
Ooh, so we have two conspirators here, shall we say? Conspiracy theorists, maybe. But who knows? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe Killian's.
One way to find out.
One way to find out, and that will be in the next session, maybe. Who knows? So, if there was one thing that you could have had your characters say out loud in that moment when Varshoven was seemingly charmed, thinking back now, what would that sentence or that thing be? Don't answer all at once.
Got no idea.
I'm thinking that's an interesting one. That's a very interesting question.
I don't know how to answer that question. You mean like whilst he's charmed, get him to do something?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Give us gold? I don't know.
So money.
I like money.
I like the money.
I like money.
So fair enough. Killian, what would Osiris have said if he or done in that moment?
Once with the charm, probably. Please do not talk to anyone here. Please, please. I don't want questions. Please, no.
Everyone stay away.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I mean,
fair.
that's fair.
And what would well, we know what Steve did do, but what would Steve have wanted to say or made him do as a friend that's charmed?
Well, if you remember, the actual campaign where he, said various things, like, "Hey, come on, let's just do this." I feel like he wouldn't change his answers and just be like, "Okay, let's take an opportunity of while he's charmed or we thought he was charmed and get him out of here." What I'm trying to say is like he wouldn't change his initial answers.
Fair enough. So, in terms of that and not changing his initial answers, etc., like we've gone over a little bit of what happened. There was the charm person that seemingly succeeded, and Vershoven essentially followed your bidding because he was concerned for the welfare of the Carney folk that were there. When you used the charm person and when that magic hit, like, where's your character's line in terms of magic and consent? Because this was a big theme of a previous episode in Dice and Destiny campaign, where it was Lou's character Aura who got hit with the calm emotions spell, and that was essentially done without the consent, and it did bring up that issue in game for the player characters. So with what you did and the charm person spell, where's that line for you in terms of that use of magic and consent? Because you also had the similar episode with Jess in the library.
Yeah, I feel like for Steve specifically, as long as it's used to either avoid a fight or use it for a situation that where it's called for, like for example trying to convince someone to give themselves up without starting a fight and preventing casualties.
So as long as there's morally good, would it be fair to say that as long as there's that morally good outcome, you're willing to use the magic with or without consent?
Yeah.
Fair enough. And what are your thoughts on that, Jude and Killian?
No, I think that's fair. You know, as long as it's for the greater good.
Yeah, as long as it helps, and it's would we rather have this fight upon our hands, or would we rather have a charm person that stops this entire thing before it even happens?
Hmm.
I think it's a very, very fair.
And whilst you were all going through this moment, shall we say, when it came to the choice to deliver Voshovan to the Azure Watch, how did your character feel? Was there a sense of justice, duty, fear, or relief? How was your character feeling in that moment? Let's start with Steve.
Mostly relieved, actually,
Mm.
because he was low-key thinking like, okay, we're going to get into a fight.
Fair enough. Jess?
Yeah, ditto. Relieved. Relieved that she didn't have to perform. Relieved that there was no fighting. Relieved she didn't kill someone again. Yeah, pretty much relieved. Relieved we completed the job with the Azure Watch. We're now free to go. As far as we're aware. Yeah, that relieved. Relieved.
Relieved, yes. And for Osiris, I imagine it would be a whole mix of emotions here, alongside that same sort of feeling of relief, because this has been one of your main contracts, as it were, with the Azure Watch to get this Voshovan in.
Oh yeah, it top of my head with his emotions. Relief 100%. Duty. A little sense of justice, because he's read a few texts and heard people talk about this and the, some things of what happened. So definitely a good sense of justice with it in the mix.
Fair enough. So, sticking with yourself, Killian, your contract's done with the Azure Watch.
Yep.
Now. You've got your target, you've got your goal. It's probably going to be a nice little present waiting for you in the morning that's been delivered. Who knows? After all, you have completed a contract, and, well, you need to be paid for your work. But one of the big things, one of the big decisions that you and your character made was to stay with the party rather than carry on with the Azure Watch. Is that what drove that decision?
I knew this question was coming up as well after as soon as I made this decision before you asked me for the fireside chat. I knew it was coming. That decision didn't really come from me as playing the character, because he's met this group, and now this weird group. Let's be honest, they have gadgets that he doesn't even know of. He's just, for sanity's sake, thinking they have magic items.
Yep.
For his poor brain. But they all seem lost. Like, incredibly lost. And he kind of just wants to help them. Maybe he'll, after helping them, maybe go back to the Azure Watch, see if he can get some work again. But I think right now for him, it's, these people are nice. They're treating me nice. I like them. They're cool. They're funny. And have some sort of inkling of mechanical engineering that I don't understand.
Yeah,
It's a lot of intrigue going into this.
fair enough. So a fair bit of this is curiosity. What is the, without spoiling too much, if you can, what is one thing that Osiris wants that you would never admit to the party, to the characters?
Something he wants. A sense of belonging.
Hmm.
And I'm not going to say anything further on that.
Fair. Jude sounded
You'll have
like
to see
she
what
had
happens.
I was just going, interesting.
fair enough. So, with that, on the opposite end of the scale, what does Osiris fear that the party will see if you're around too long?
Something he fears that they see is something he does, and why I picked his class the way I did was more his intrigue of the unknown and the more, instead of magical, supernatural. And his fear with how lost they are is that they get wound up into this hurricane of monsters and death, a lot of pain and misery.
That's an interesting thought. So, Jude and Steve, Jude, what's the first thing your character is currently assuming about Osiris that might be wrong?
That he's probably here to keep an eye on us, to babysit us, and to, I don't know, keep us out of trouble, mainly. Sort of like a babysitter, mainly. That's the best way I can describe it. Babysitting a bunch of strange people in Ironstead.
Any response to that?
I just break everybody. It's fine. I am chaotic. Oh, that's not even my I don't even think that's my alignment.
Not yet, it isn't.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think he's there to keep an eye on them. Me personally, I don't think so.
Fair enough. Steve, what's one boundary your character is most likely to set with Killian? Bearing in mind that he is completely different race to all of the party and everything else. It's like, what would be one boundary your character would want to set with Killian in game? Like, and would you say
That's
it
a
out
good question.
loud?
I don't think we have seen Killian use his magic yet, I think.
I believe
Have
Killian's used it once, but he did it discreetly.
I did. Mm-hmm.
So it's fair to assume that Steve didn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that Steve would think he is, a bit of an oversized goblin. Like he can't really place like what he is.
Maybe that's a discussion for the morning breakfast.
Yeah.
Oversized goblin.
Well, from
Wow.
oversized goblin is a step up from Shrek when Lou was on the Fireside chat.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's actually 4 goblins in a trench coat. Didn't want to tell you guys. It's actually 4 goblins
Yeah,
in a
you
trench
seemed
coat. I had to
unusually tall.
Jeez.
No, it all makes sense.
I've got the next question, but I'm laughing a bit too hard.
You did invite the 3 most chaotic players to the Fireside chat. What did you expect?
Exactly this, to be fair. So, with that being said, Steve, perhaps you could name a
Yeah.
moment in the episode where you felt that your character felt seen, and one where maybe you felt the most alone.
Well, the thing is, Steve in general is pretty interactive. So to think of a specific moment where he felt alone, so far I think there hasn't been any moments where Steve felt alone.
Fair enough. Gillian?
Where Osiris felt alone, probably when they started talking about right next to him about I don't remember who said it. I do remember actually who said it. Never mind. Where Chris specifically said, "Am I going to get fired from your job when we're back home?"
Yes.
And to his assumption, they're from a far, far away land.
Mm-hmm.
But they're speaking in such odd terms.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't understand these people in the slightest.
Yeah, that's actually quite a fair comment, I would say. Terminology being used in ways that you've never heard in that sort of context before. I imagine if I was the player character in your player character in that situation, I'd probably be sort of sitting there quietly, like trying to work out what was going on as well. But was there a moment when you felt that your character felt seen? That's just to counter the alone part.
Seen. Definitely by... Because for some reason, Chris decided to take a very high intrigue into Osiris.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, Chris is the only person who's seen him use his... Because he was standing right next to him. It was the only person who seen him use his ability, let's say, for argument's sake.
Yes. Did that moment when you were using your ability make your character feel vulnerable amongst the strangers, shall we say? Strangers to the world, at least.
Yeah, I'd definitely say so for how he has to use his abilities and the no judgment behind it. Definitely a wow. I was expecting something else
Mm,
kind of way.
fair enough. So that brings me, talking of other worlds, that brings me to the next actual question. So your character through the drunken night part of the episode overheard them talking about, or overheard the accidental slip from Jess, that they were from another world. Yes.
To be fair, Lou's character, Aurora, did turn around and say, "We've been missing for over a month," which she mentioned before, but we'd conveniently forgotten, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What was going through Osiris's head in those moments, other than the alcohol?
As soon as the words other worlds were mentioned, a lot of confusion, because to him, they just look like normal, plain humans.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, just normal people. And saying, we're from a different world. It's like, it makes the gears move and think, they're kind of onto some. Why are they using such with mannerisms, this speech? And what the hell is this musical device that keeps making sound?
I mean, they're all very fair questions. Did you, when the group tried to smooth it over by saying, "Oh, don't mind this, it's just language the type of language that we use where we're from. It might as well seem like another world." When they tried to smooth it over with that, did Osiris buy it?
I did roll an insight check for this.
Uh-huh.
I did. And before, while they were trying to smooth it over, definitely this is odd and suspicious. They are randomly trying to defend this point and make me think otherwise. And with that, because the dice tell a story, we all know this. With that insight roll I rolled, it kind of firm turned from, are they bullshitting me, to, okay, there's more to the story.
Yeah.
I don't think I have the full picture here. They keep saying it's another world, but also telling me they have stuff there and languages there that makes it seem like a different world. So definitely confused, definitely wanting to hear the rest of this story.
That is definitely something that my character would want to do as well. But Jess and Steve, as for the pair of you, when it came to the slip of the tongue, whether it was through the use of alcohol or just letting your guard down, what was it in that moment that made the pair of you go, "Oh shit, we shouldn't be telling people this"?
Yeah, definitely the moment where it was slipped out, like we're from a different world. Steve was like, no.
Yeah, Steve going, no, 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 no. I think Jess had too much alcohol to really care and let her inhibitions down, because she's normally quite reserved. But when she drinks, all her guards drop. And yeah, Otherwise, she's normally quite calculating unless she's put into a situation with alcohol or under pressure, in which case she kind of loses herself a little, I would say.
Ooh, have we discovered a chink in Jess's armour then?
Possibly. Who's to say?
Note to self, guys, don't get her drunk.
Note to self, don't get drunk.
Dice tell the story.
Oh yeah.
That'll be the Constitution saving throw. Yeah, I mean, it's quite an interesting, food for thought, that one. So, yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens next if you guys let something slip again.
I'm sure they will.
Oh, I'm waiting for it. I am waiting.
I'm pretty sure Jess will, for sure, if she lets her guard down too much. And she's starting to let her guard down more, which is probably a really bad thing for Jess to do. But we shall see where it goes. And if the dice are, yeah, especially because obviously Jess has got the history with the mask visitor in the dream, telling her about can I keep secrets and whispers. So, yeah.
Now
So what you're trying to say, I should. Oh.
Go on.
I was saying, well, so what you're trying to say, I should wait to get silence.
No.
So that is a very interesting question. What thoughts do you have that letting a secret slip might bring upon you in terms of this masked figure, this deity, as it were? Do you think there'll be consequences or not?
Oh, I hope not. Jess probably doesn't. Jess probably thinks it's just a dream. However, me, oh yeah, probably going to bring consequences, 100%. I hope not, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. She's normally good at keeping secrets and keeping quiet in her job. So, but outside of her job, perhaps not as much.
So job conflicts, profession conflicts, I should say, could be an interesting area to explore with your character moving forwards. So, with that, we are coming up towards the end of the Fireside chat. So, what we're going to do, we're going to have another couple of quick fire rounds of questions that I've got here for you all. So one at a time, any order. Don't mind who goes first, but one prediction that your character has or that you have that is probably wrong.
We're going to get home.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say Steve going to his wife.
Fair. That reminds me, I need to get a description of your wife.
Let's save that for a future episode.
Oh yes, definitely. And what about you, Killian?
Ooh. They're gonna kill him. It's come to that point.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So, quick fire on these. If the last series of episodes with the Off to the Carnival and the Carnival Chaos, so the prep and entry and the actual mission itself, if that were a movie genre, what would you class it as?
I have no. Adventure. I don't know. There wasn't much action, was there? Because we kind of succeeded.
Knowing our group, drama.
I have a good one. Comedy.
Fair calls. Fair calls. In that episode, who would you all say was the real villain?
Ooh! Oh no! Don't do this.
That's so hard.
No.
Um,
No.
All right, let's make it slightly easier for alcohol. Yes.
Ow.
I was going to say, let's make it a little bit easier for you all. Who was the real villain? The plan, the dice, or the vibes?
The dice.
The dice.
Definitely.
Fair enough. And for Killian, the answer was the alcohol.
The alcohol. I
If
could hear the DM sigh at the end.
I could change my answer actually to the alcohol. Yeah.
fair enough. So, if there was one sentence your character was going to write in your diary tonight, what would that sentence be? Let's start with Steve.
You mean the diary or like?
If your character was keeping a diary, what would that sentence be that you'd write in the diary tonight after that episode?
We've been big on the alcohol. like describing a bit the events of what happened that evening.
Fair enough. Jess?
Jess would write, Jess, you are an absolute moron. Know when to shut your mouth, you idiot. Quite self-depreciating, I think.
Interesting internal conflict there to explore. And Killian, what would your character write?
I mean, I feel like there's a very easy and a very funny answer here, and both correlate with each other.
Let's hear
There's
both
a
then.
Dexter Morgan ass board. There's a Dexter Morgan ass board in his diary that is currently trying to piece their entire things together. So many slip ups, so many. I'm from here. We're missing. Something I forgot to gloss over is the fact that Steve said he has a wife, and he hasn't seen her for a month.
Yeah.
There's a whole board going on in that diary right now, I'm telling you.
Fair enough.
He's looking at them like, I'm gonna figure this shit out. Don't you worry.
Cool. Interesting. Sorry, dude, just spilt tea on her laptop.
Oh no.
It was the cat. She knocked my glass out my hand.
So now we get to the point at the end of the episode where you, the players, get to grill me as the DM for about 5 minutes. What questions do you have for me?
Oh.
Do you know what? I have a fun little question. We're not getting too much into the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, as a DM, do you think that Vashovan made this decision selfishly to come with us, or more in a protective manner? Like, what was his thought process around, without revealing too much?
I think the best way to describe Vershovan's actions and thought process in that moment was a calculation of what's going to be the best way to manage this, manage the situation. So he was genuinely looking to actually get out and get away. I don't think it would have been his intention to be delivered to the Azure Watch, but the recognition of a druid and the animal mastery that Chris had, Chris had, is something that Varshovan would have recognized. And with that, he determined that the best course of action would be to continue playing along and see where this goes. Because no matter where he ends up, he's aware that there's very little in the way of evidence at this stage, other than his entire wagon. But there we go. None of you ever searched it, so you don't know.
Fuck.
We did not think of that.
I'm gonna kick myself. I'm
Yeah.
gonna kick myself for a week. I'm gonna kick myself until next session because of this.
Little things.
My character's whole job.
Yes, it was.
It's a small deal that you.
It's not.
So you don't actually have any evidence in the Azure Watch to hold him at this stage.
Oh no.
Oops.
No. Damn it.
Question is though, considering he was faking charm person, would he have actually let us search his wagon without a fight?
If it depends on where the search occurred, is all I'm gonna say.
Oh. Yeah.
Any other questions?
God damn it, guys.
I mean, you've got a rogue in the party who's supposed to be good at searching for things.
She doesn't know she's a rogue yet.
No, hints are being dropped though. But there we go. Any other questions before we close the night?
No, because I wasn't prepared to ask the DM any questions.
I've got one that's a bit sinister. If we were ending up in a fight, who do you think would have, let's just say, kicked the bucket first?
Ooh.
Oh, Varshovan would not have allowed anyone to die, putting it bluntly. His goal, if there was an altercation, would have been to knock you unconscious, but no more. So, in terms of who would have gone down first, I'm suspecting it would have been Chris.
No, not Chris. Poor Chris.
Oh, that is actually a really good question. Well,
I just have a fun, lighthearted question.
Go for it.
Towards the end of this game,
We all got a little we all got a little quirky is the best way to say this.
Yes.
Were you expecting as a DM, this stuff can always happen. Were you expecting this much of chaos and tomfoolery to happen towards the end?
I was expecting there to be a let your hair down moment. I will say that much. But I wasn't expecting it to go the way it did. There was a lot more information that was spoken by the characters and than probably should have been let on. And I think you know almost all of what shouldn't have been said, Killian. I'm sure you've played that back.
No.
No, Dexter Morgan board. All I'm saying, guys.
So, yes, I was expecting some level of chaos, but not as chaotic as it got. But then at the end of every sort of adventure or mission or accomplishment that the party's made, what party wouldn't let their hair down? Just for a few moments. And on that note...
Someone who wants to stay sober?
With this party around, not for much longer.
Fair.
Oh dear. And on that note, we are going to close the Fireside chat. I'd like to thank you, all of those that are watching. We do enjoy you being here to enjoy our conversations and thoughts on our characters and the game itself. Feel free to comment any questions that you have in future episodes. More than willing to ask them of the players that are on, and more than willing to answer a few myself as well as the DM. So just a quick reminder, next week there won't be a game because I do have an appointment at the hospital for a problem with my shoulder. So there won't be a game next week. However, the week after that, we will be coming back with, I was going to say a bang, but it's more likely to be breakfast. So to find out, it should be. So to find out where the adventure goes from here, tune in 2 weeks' time.